Welcome to another edition of Beyond Rose Hill with someone who's still a key member of the Fordham fabric, the former director of athletics at Fordham, class of 1969, Frank McLaughlin. Frank, good to be with you.
Thanks so much. This is great. I'm very excited about it.
Frank, it's been a unique, challenging year, but things starting to peak up. Spring sports in full swing, new men's basketball hire at Fordham as well. How's this year been for you as a whole?
Well, I've been working at home, but I've stayed in constant contact with Eddie Call, who's doing a fabulous job. The reaction to the hiring of Eddie Call has been fantastic. Alums, everybody, the New York sports community, everybody is very impressed with Eddie, and I think he's going to be a great ambassador for Fordham. And I think he set the tone right away, hiring Kyle Neptune, who has a great reputation. So I think people are very, very excited about the future of Fordham athletics.
You mentioned the future of Fordham athletics, and you mentioned the hire of men's basketball coach Kyle Neptune. Through that process, landing with Kyle Neptune, how optimistic are you for the future of that program on that front with men's basketball?
Well, it's been hard. I'm being the AD since 1985. I've had my personal struggles, trying to hire different coaches, and it's a unique situation. Fordham is a great academic school. The thing that's impressed me the most is the tremendous support and how much Fordham people and even the New York basketball community wants Fordham basketball to be successful. So that's a real plus. And I think second of all is the name of Fordham, New York City. We have the potential. There's a lot of teams that try to turn around their basketball program, but they don't have some of the advantages that Fordham has, being in New York and having a great, great alumni and student support. So I'm very optimistic. I think Eddie made an excellent choice in Kyle. I've had a chance to talk to Kyle. And as I've told him, and he'll laugh if you ever talk to him, I said, Kyle, get players, win games. That's all you got to do. Forget everything else.
That's a great motto. And part of that effort to build the program up, you have some renovations going on at Fordham McGinley Center, some upgrades with facilities across various programs, weight rooms as well. From an athletic director vantage point for you, you oversaw the renovations of Behoshi Field, the football locker room, new basketball locker rooms, Jack Coffey Field, Murphy Field. How important is that infrastructure to future success?
Well, facilities is everything. I'm being honest. You can have a great academic school, you can have a great location, great alums and stuff, but you got to understand we're competing in the A10, one of the best top basketball leagues in the country. And all you got to do is look at the facilities in the A10, whether it's Dayton or Richmond or UMass, Rhode Island, and the list goes on. So in an ideal world, it would be great if a group of major donors stepped up and we had a new facility. But if that doesn't happen, I think our present facility is adequate. And, we have to turn it around to be a positive, like a Palestra or Duke, and, attract kids who want to be in New York, get a great education, play for a great coach in Kyle Neptune, and understand that he'd be representing a university that cares and loves the game of basketball.
Want to flashback with you a little bit to your roots, your ties, of course, to Rose Hill, which run very deep. A few years ago, your name, of course, attached to the Rose Hill Gym, Frank McLaughlin Family Basketball Court. And when that got announced, one of your quotes was, Fordham is family. I want to know what that phrase means to you deep down.
Well, it's interesting. I'm 74 years old, but born in 1947. My oldest brother, Walter, who's still alive, got out of Fordham Prep in 1949, and then the college, and was a football scholarship player when they were Division I in 1953. So I've been on the Rose Hill campus my whole life. But having then playing basketball at Fordham Prep, we used to use the Rose Hill Gym. So we played in the Rose Hill Gym for high school and then college. And Then I was fortunate enough to come back in the magical year with Digger Phelps in 1970, 71. So Fordham is my family. I'm very proud of my three daughters who have all are Fordham graduates and are doing extremely well thanks to their Fordham degree.
You mentioned that year riding shotgun with Digger Phelps. And when we talked shop with some of the men's basketball coaches back in the fall, you mentioned we didn't really know what we were doing. It kind of just all clicked and came together. How did that happen and what made that run so special?
Well, I have to give credit to Ed Conlon, who's probably the greatest men's player in the history of Fordham basketball. Ed was my coach in 1969. And just a little tidbit here. My junior and senior year, we won 23 straight games in the Rose Hill Gym. We never lost. We beat Syracuse, Georgetown, people like that. So there is a great winning tradition there. Then I was working at the College of Holy Cross, and an unknown named Digger Phelps got the Fordham head job. He was an assistant at Penn. And to be honest with you, because the assistant's job paid so poorly, he couldn't hire anybody, so he ended up giving me the job. And I think Digger was charismatic, came in. Again, Ed Conlon had done a great job of laying the foundation of having some very, very good players in the program. And with Ed Conlon's talent and Digger Phelps' charisma, we had one of the magical years where we were the story in New York City. Fordham basketball was better than the Knicks, St. John's, and Seton Hall, anybody. We played Notre Dame in the Garden, sold that out 19-5, and then the following week, we beat Notre Dame 94-88, Austin Carr and the boys, and then we came back following week and played the number one team in the country, Al McGuire's Marquette team, and lost a very tight game by a couple of points in overtime.
Whether it be that 70-71 team or 90-91, where you had the phrase "the Bronx is in the house," the Rose Hill Gym has been a special place for college basketball. Even some of the recent signature victories over the last several years. What makes that atmosphere in Rose Hill Gym different to you?
Well, in 90-91, that's very interesting. We couldn't get a bid to the NCAA, so we ended up playing in the NIT, and we had to play at South Florida the first game. And what was really funny was George Steinbrenner was at the game, and there were a number of Fordham students there. And George Steinbrenner loved it when they started chanting "the Bronx is in the house." He thought that was the greatest thing. So, and of course, we upset South Florida that night. And then we played a couple of days later. We played a great UMass team with John Calipari as coach, and you couldn't get a ticket to that game, the Rose Hill Gym. So there's the potential is there. I think our student body wants to be good in basketball. I know the Board of Trustees have been very, very supportive of the program. And I'll tell you this, the alums I talk to, people in the New York City basketball community, everybody is behind Colin Leptune. And Eddie Cull is a great athletic director. He's very supportive, be great to work with. And there's no doubt in my mind we're going to turn this thing around.
Well, that's a great way to leave it off. Very optimistic. Frank, appreciate a few minutes. Appreciate all the thoughts and great to see you.
Well, thanks so much. And really, to all the Fordham people, thank you for enhancing my life and my family's life. Fordham will always be special to us.